Hello, and welcome to this week's episode of Bob's Live, our weekly show right here on the internet. And well, this week we have Halloween coming up, which for us at Bob's means jack-o'-lanterns. And today I thought we would carve a jack-o'-lantern and just chat a little bit. So if you're watching, feel free to ask a question in the chat, and I'll be keeping an eye on it today. So that way we can chat as we carve. But first, I thought we'd take a look at the weather forecast. And right now, it is toasty outside. It's also toasty in here. But looking ahead at the weather forecast, tomorrow we're going to be up near 80, also 80 on Thursday. And, let's see, there we go. You have to scroll over. And then we're going to be dropping back down toward the end of this week. But then over the weekend, we're going to start to kind of warm back up a little bit to around 70. So overall, over the rest of this week, we're looking at pretty great weather to get outside and work on gardening tasks. So if you're cleaning out beds or things like that, getting ready for fall, this is a great time to do it. It also looks like we're going to have excellent weather for trick-or-treating. So yeah, over the next few days, I know a lot of folks are going to be doing trick-or-treating. And, well, as I said, this week, I want to carve a jack-o'-lantern live. So I got to get set up for that. So it's going to take me just a few seconds to move the microphone over and get everything in position for that. So while I do that, I'm going to mute the mic and switch to a little standby video. Alrighty, got everything moved, and yeah, this works. Which, oh yeah, I need to lose some weight. I mean, my jack-o'-lantern shirt definitely looks nice and round, but I gotta get rid of this. And hopefully you can hear me good. Got the mic positioned right here. Let me know if you can. And I'm going to be looking two different ways this evening. Up here I have the YouTube stream, so I can watch comments there. And over on this side I have Facebook. So, as I said, feel free to type in the chat, ask your fall gardening questions, general hey how you doing type stuff. And yeah, I'm going to be working on this pumpkin. So my plan for this is to do just kind of, I'm going to use my shirt as a template, just basic jack-o'-lantern, 2 triangle eyes, maybe a nose, and then a nice goofy mouth. I think, looking at it, it's got some blemishes here on this side, so I think I'm going to make that the back, and then this side the front. So, of course, the first thing that I need to do is carve out an opening for the top. And it needs to be big enough for my hand to get in there. So, I think I'm going to go kind of right in that area. Um, so, I'm going to start at the back. And a good tip for doing this is you want to angle your knife so that way the lid has a ledge to set on. But something that I also do is I carve a little V in the back, and that way it kind of creates a little key for the top to nest down into. So let me go ahead. I'm just using my pocket knife. I've got a really sharp pocket knife. And this is where we find out how tough the skin on this pumpkin is. Oh yeah, it is quite tough. I didn't go with a regular like carving style jack-o'-lantern. This is actually, I guess it would be considered a gourd. So it might be a little bit harder for me to carve. I just had a thought. This would make a funny workers' comp claim. Like, how did you injure yourself? Carving a jack-o'-lantern. This thing is really tough. Now, of course, doing this, you want to cut straight towards yourself. That's always an excellent idea. Of course, no, don't do that. This has the hardness of, I would say, like a pie pumpkin, if you've ever tried to carve one of those. They don't carve particularly well. Although it does have some soft areas that I'm finding. So maybe once I get down more on the face of it, it'll be easier to carve. You know, here's a great idea. I should have brought a jigsaw. It's just done. Oh, we are almost there. And then we get to do my least favorite part. Okay, I'm keeping an eye on the comments. Not seeing that many comments. So if you're watching, let me know how you like to do your jack-o'-lanterns. Do you go classic face? Do you try a weird design? Oh, ho, ho, ho. There we go. Just about have the lid off. Come on. Yeah. All right. Oh, hey. This actually has less pulp in it than a normal pumpkin. So it's a trade-off. Harder to carve on the outside, easier to clean up on the inside. Who would have known? And okay, I'm just going to shave some of this flesh off on the inside there. And there we go. That now sets back down in perfectly. So now we can move on to the innards. I'm just going to set my knife right there. And I found that the best thing is a nice metal spoon. That really lets you get in and scrape out all the guts. And some folks like to save the seeds and roast them. Personally, I am not a fan of roasted pumpkin seeds. So let me know in the comments, do you like to roast the pumpkin seeds? Every time I've tried it, I've done it with olive oil and some salt and some seasoning, and I don't know, it's kind of a texture thing for me. Like, I don't really care for, sunflower seeds either. Okay. That got a lot of it out. Oh, yeah. That is nice and gross. as I said, this is my least favorite part of doing a jack-o'-lantern. And I have a photo somewhere of me when I was about 3 years old. And Dad and I are doing a jack-o'-lantern. Mom's taking the photo. And I'm standing up on a chair in my diaper, holding a flashlight while Dad does this, because I was like, ew, gross. No, I'm not, no. Let's see. I need to spoon some more. The other thing with doing this is it's always hard to get the guts out, because you start scraping with a spoon like that and it kind of comes apart inside like a spaghetti squash. So you're really just making more of the little stringies. Oh, come on. Okay, we've almost degoopified the pumpkin. I think for our purposes, that's going to work. And my hand is all slippery and slimy now. But that's why I have some paper towels here. Oh wow. This, where it is oranger inside than a normal pumpkin, and it like stained my hands orange. I've got it like under my fingernails, between my fingers. This is a fun activity to do with the kids. So, they just love getting messy like this. Alright, so we have our gutted pumpkin with a lid. Now it's time to stick a face on it. And I think, given the hardness of the outside of this pumpkin, I am just going to do classic eyes and a mouth and cut out the nose. Well, cut out the nose, like no nose, because I am sitting here roasting. It is like, yeah, it's in the 80s outside. It's like 11 billion degrees in here. So first, I'm going to figure out, I think I'm going to go there and there for my two eyeballs. So if you're just joining me, feel free to leave a comment, ask any questions you got. We are just carving a pumpkin and chatting this evening. I really don't like that. I'm gonna have to refine this a little bit. Doing like a, I don't know what that would be, a right triangle. We want more of an equilateral triangle. There we go. Let's take this one down here more. Hey. Something I have to be careful with is where this feller has a little bit tougher skin. Its skin actually like cracks a little bit as I'm carving, which I can kind of use to my advantage, but I also have to kind of watch it that it doesn't crack where I don't want it to. There we go. First little eye hole here is carved out. Clean it up a little bit here. There we go. So there's our first eyeball. I'm gonna end up with sweat in my eyes. This is very dignified. Yes, very dignified. There we go. Alrighty. That is one eyeball. I think I'm actually going to have to go up a little bit down as I'm looking at it. Up and over just a hair on this next eyeball. Which I'm saying eyeball, but it's triangular, so it's a eye angle? An eye angle. There we go. No. Okay, I've got one big eye, one slightly smaller eye, but we're getting there. We're getting there. Yeah. And now I'm thinking just a mouth. I might just do big old goofy smile, no teeth. I'm thinking just kind of a line straight across and then like a little arc around the bottom for the mouth. Should I go wider than the eyes though? Should I go like here to here with the mouth? Or a little bit smaller? I'm thinking we go a little bit wider. It's going to be harder to do. But I think in the grand scheme it's going to look better. And where I stuck the knife has to be the hardest place in the entire pumpkin. What is that made out of? Ugh. I think the orange stripes are like extra thick. What in the world? Blimey. Maybe if I like score it first. Let's try this maybe. This is like the hardest pumpkin I've ever carved. And this knife, like, it is... For one, it's a brand new pocket knife. But it is razor sharp. Ah. Whew. Need a sharper knife. This knife, you can literally shave with it. This pumpkin, get sweat in my eyes here. This pumpkin it's actually a gourd, so the skin on it is a lot sharper, or a lot harder than usual. And especially, yeah, like right now I'm into the yellow part. The yellow part cuts like butter. It's the orange part, these orange stripes, that's like super hard. And if I give them a little bear hug here, buddy. Yeah, serrated edge. That's really what I needed. I should have brought a saw, and I was like, nah, I'm good. There's the top of his noggin. Just set that aside. Okay. Now, we'll take a little breather here. I'm sweating like crazy because I have my office door shut and there's no air one in here. So it is toasty. This is like most workout. It's like jump on the live stream and watch John struggle. All right. So we got the easy part of that done. Now I want to do the mouth and the bottom edge of the mouth. And what I'm going for is kind of an arc. So we're going to kind of come down. This method is working a lot better here. Just kind of pulling the knife through this way. I think what I'm going to have to do though when I reach the bottom of this little arc that I'm doing, I'm going to have to cut it this way and remove this half first because it kind of wants to break as it's going. This outer skin is very, very hard. Like it is shattering as I carve into it. Which again kind of works to my advantage. But that's only if I can control the direction that it's shattering. Okay, I think this is going to work. Just going from the opposite side. Because it wants to shatter. I guess that makes sense. It's shattering toward the area that I've already cut. So it's going toward the area of less pressure. Some science here for you. Oh yeah, there we go. Perfect. This dude is going to look goofy and it is going to be awesome. Because I like a goofy looking jack-o'-lantern. Kind of goofy myself, so... Ugh, there we go. Oh yeah, yeah. This is perfect. So there we go. That is our goofy looking jack-o'-lantern. Get the lid back on him. That is perfect. And yeah, if I take the lid off, let's see. There we go. Got my flashlight here. There we go. You know what? This flashlight is just happy. There we go. So there is our finished jack-o'-lantern, and I am literally soaked in sweat. So I thank you all for staying with me and struggling through this live stream. Sometimes they don't go exactly as planned, but yeah, if you have any gardening questions, again, feel free to drop them in the chat. I had fun this evening. I hope you did too. If you popped in and out watching me struggle carving this guy. Let me jump back over here. And yeah, that is all that I have for this week's episode of Bob's Live. I thank you again for joining me. And this might be a fun video to like scroll through really fast if you're watching it on the replay. I am going to go drink some ice cold water and clean up a little bit. And yeah. Well, that is all that I have for this week's episode of Bob's Live. So until next week, keep growing.